So Shyra, your PhD is on Indigenous procurement. How will recent procurement policy changes from government and an increased interest from the private sector help Indigenous founders? And how should procurement be addressed and considered by both Indigenous and non-Indigenous so that these policies can ultimately be successful?
Thank you. First of all, bonjour, Odem Kwe Anishinaabe, Kay Bo Wick na Donjaba, Wabi Jashna Dodam. It's so nice to be here today and with such powerhouses as part of this panel. So I'm actually truly humbled to be here with all of you. And thank you, Barry, for setting this up today. There are so many opportunities right now for Indigenous entrepreneurs. It is a great time to be an Indigenous entrepreneur. With the policy changes made at the federal government level, the government is now mandated to do a minimum of 5% procurement all across all departments. In case there's entrepreneurs listening, currently the government's doing about 1% procurement. So this is an opportunity in the millions of dollars. So as an entrepreneur, if there are entrepreneurs on here, you should be super excited right now because the opportunities are just incredible. I speak as an entrepreneur myself who has actually done procurement with the Government of Canada. I speak as an academic who's doing my research on procurement. And I also speak as a supporter. In our ecosystem, we support Indigenous women entrepreneurs, and so we can see what some of their challenges and struggles are and what we can do to help. So in this time of reconciliation, not just with public procurement, but also private procurement, there are a lot of really good opportunities. What is needed to help make these entrepreneurs successful, which has been brought up already by Shannon, is an investment in business, an investment in communities, opportunities for capacity development and education. I can tell you from my experience from working with brand new entrepreneurs, most of them do not know what the word procurement means. That's a problem. We really need to start from the very beginning. You know, initially we had programming and we didn't offer procurement training until entrepreneurs got a little bit longer in the journey. Over 3 years with us running this program for Indigenous women entrepreneurs, we've completely changed our minds. They need to know what procurement is from the beginning so that they can put the strategies in place to scale up. And so then when they know it's time to tap into these opportunities, they're ready. So I think one of the really important things to think of right now is how do we put a circle of care around our Indigenous entrepreneurs? How do we make sure that they know where their local Aboriginal financial institute is? How do they know what supports are available to them in their region? Where can they find this information? I think it would be really helpful if we had really good navigators. Are there navigators that could be created nationally so that when Indigenous entrepreneurs are going through the journey and they need to, for example, have a different mentor that they need when they first started or different funding opportunities, how can we help guide them? And how can we get First Nation communities, Indigenous communities ready for this as well? How do we help them to have the support so that they can build bigger, stronger, inclusive ecosystems that put that circle of care around our entrepreneurs? And that's going to take investment from the private sector and public sectors. There's a lot that First Nation communities could do to prepare for this, such as mapping their own business ecosystems, having local business, Indigenous business registries, so that when industry comes to their community, they know who the businesses are, and also being able to identify local talent for employment, and also entrepreneurs and businesses that are ready to scale and putting that circle of care around them. And lastly, I think it's also very important to have these types of initiatives Indigenous-led. Co-design is incredibly important. So for these policy changes to be successful, it's about creating the investment and the ongoing relationships and the ongoing engagement with NIOs, Indigenous businesses, and First Nation communities to make sure that the systems we're putting in place are working and that they will continue to work.